So let's take a look at how you can install GCC in Windows 10. Okay, in past I have covered Windows 8 and Windows 7. So I thought I should also cover one for Windows 10. Though the instructions are pretty much same, but this time I'm making use of another installer named TDM GCC. Okay, so you can Google for TDM GCC, which should have homepage something like this. Okay, so if you are seeing this video in near future, most likely site may get design updates, so please mindful of that. So basically you just have to search for TDM-GCC. Then you will find this download page something like this, and it will have installers sorted based on 32-bit, 64 and in general web installer. So I'm downloading this 64-bit. Clicking on that should download your installer. It contains C, C++, OpenMP, GNU debugger and few other utilities. Let me minimize. Now here is my installer, so I'm going to double click on that. Okay, it may ask for permission, so we'll see what that permission is. Simply click on yes. Okay, now here you may notice that it will check for updated files on TDM GCC server. Okay, so something like this will run in the background, which I don't want. Okay, so simply choose from one of the three. If you have already installed TDM GCC, you can remove that. You can manage existing installation, but in our case we need fresh install, so we are going to click on create. Okay, so simply read all the license issues. Okay, so usually if you are dealing with open source or free stuff, you can ignore the license, but for commercial and other people, please do read and then click next. Now here the default installation directory is C drive. I'm going to change this to E. Okay, now as you can see, this is my E drive, and here they will create one TDM GCC folder. Okay, and they will also auto add this path into our environment variables. If not, we will manually do it. Click on next. Then there is also GDB. Okay, if you want it, you can select that. There is also add to path option. Make sure it is checked. Okay, there is GCC bin utils, MingW runtime, 32-bit and 64-bit. Okay, so once that is done, you can also choose from the settings for custom or recommended. So I'm going with recommended. Click on install. And this should take few minutes depending on the options you have selected. Okay, once the installation finishes, it should show you message something like completed successfully, and you can click on next. Okay, now you can uncheck this if you don't want to read the readme. Okay, I'm gonna uncheck that. Now click on finish. Now to check whether you have your GCC installed, then you can go to your path where you have to check whether you have all those things in bin directory. You can verify that. Now next thing would be to simply open command prompt. Now let's go with another drive. Let's say I use GCC /version, and here you see I have this path GCC TDM 64 and 5.1.0. Okay, so if you get message something like this, and it also mentions specifically that this installer was TDM 64, then you have your installation properly done.